Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be installing this brand new Mitchell Overdrive to my 1931 Model A Coupe. If you've seen my previous video, you know what this is. This is a Burtz Block. It has a counterweighted crankshaft on it with 5 main bearings, which means I can sit and do 55, 60 all day long and not have to worry about it. In fact, it's very, very, very smooth. So not only do I have the Burtz Block here, but in just a second when I take the floor out, you're going to see that I have a V8 transmission out of an early 30s flathead in here. I believe it's a 38 in this one. I do have a 39 over here in my pile that I'll be rebuilding shortly, but if you're not familiar with those flathead transmissions, they are synchronized for second and third gear. But what's even better is second gear is actually usable. The gears are something like this, with first, second, third being way over there. That's no longer the case. With the flathead transmission, it brings them all nice so they're nice and even. What that means is when you shift into third gear from second gear, it no longer bogs. You can actually wind second gear up quite a bit. So with those two things in mind, the question is this going to be worth it? And the long story is I ordered this in January. I ordered this in August. This was originally supposed to be tied up to my original engine over here, which unfortunately gave up the ghost. The center Babbitt decided to go on vacation. It has not been seen since. So rather than canceling this order, now that I've had this Burtz and I've put nearly 3,000 miles on this guy at any number of different speeds, it's been fantastic. I knew this was coming. Mitchell finally called me up about a month back. Said, hey, we've got it ready. It's ready to be shipped out to you. I'm like, all right. I don't know if I'll need it anymore. I don't know if I'll use it that much. Usually if I'm cruising around with the club, we're doing 35, 40 everywhere, which is absolutely nothing in this thing. And having that V8 second gear makes it where I can basically handle any kind of hill or any kind of speed without really ever bogging. So the question that we're going to answer at the end of this video, hopefully through some test drives, is this thing still worth it, despite everything I've gotten here already? Under there. So here we are, it's the next day. The weather is holding out. We've still got a couple of fall colors out here in Michigan, but not for long. It is a little bit chilly. It's just about 40 degrees right now. It is supposed to be the low 60s today, so it should be perfect for this. I'm gonna get the camera mounted up here in the car, and then we're gonna go for a couple of test drives. So one of the first ones I want to try is turning right out of my house here on this highway, where traffic does get going a bit quick. I like to wait until all the cars have gone past. As turning right out of here, we're going to hit a hill very shortly, and usually I don't quite have enough oomph going up that hill, so I always feel like, you know, if I just had an extra gear, it would be perfect. So now we do, and we're about to find out. So this is second gear still. We're wound up to about 30 there. Now we're in overdrive, climbing it. Accelerating very slowly. I have traffic coming up behind me here. But we're going to try to let this wind out a little bit. if you're like me, you have one of these Burtz blocks and you're running those higher RPMs and you're like, oh, well, I can handle those higher RPMs, no problem. Why do I need an overdrive? Well, as you can see, it just makes everything quiet. It just reduces those RPMs. It gives you better control over your power. So you can just make better use of the power you're making, especially if you put one together fairly stock like I did. So absolutely, if you're on the fence about one of these things, get on the wait list, pick one up, you're gonna be happy. Speaking of, we're probably gonna wrap up this video by driving over to the coffee shop where she works, getting us some nice hot apple cider on this cold, chilly fall day that's looking like it's going to turn into a beautiful day. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. I did make it home again. I'm going to go out and enjoy the rest of this beautiful day out here in Michigan. Try to enjoy some of these last colors while I can before they're gone. Winter will be here soon. So final conclusion is the Mitchell Overdrive is absolutely worth it. Whether you have a stock Model A, whether you have the Burtz Block, whether you have the V8 transmission in there, definitely worth it. So again, just a big thank you to the Mitchell family for producing these things, getting this thing out to me. It was a long wait to get it. I think it took me about 9 months, somewhere around there, for me to finally get my unit, but I tell you what, it was absolutely worth the wait. I am very, very, very pleased. So that's going to do it for this video. I should have a couple more coming out in the near future. I do have the Burtz high compression head on the way that they've just finally started shipping out to people. It will fit a little bit better on here than my Snyder's head does currently. It'll bump the compression up by about 1/2 point, so it's not going to be a huge difference in terms of performance, but we'll end it there and we'll see you again in the future.